one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can, yeah. Super fly for the Dumbos, plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, but the old with the cane stick.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Vontaze Burfict, the one to get him down.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. They'll set up a throw. He can run for it, and he will. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now Carr. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Man open left side is Brown. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That goes for a gain of 31.
And there's our first glimpse of Antonio Brown in this game, and he's a guy that's a threat each and every time the ball heads in his direction. Coming off the 2nd year where he led the league in receiving yards in 2017.
Yeah, 1,533, just turned 30 back in July, and no signs of this man stopping. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now a first carry for Isaiah Crowell. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Crowell. Quick feet by Crowell. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Now they'll throw with Carr. Over the middle here to Brown. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
He's airing it up, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Tyrell Williams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball. Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Nevin Lawson there on the tackle.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
23 yards on the play. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's Royce Freeman, the first carry for the rookie. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Back to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
They had enough yards for the 1st down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No 1st down.
And McManus able to put it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Carr now to throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. On 2nd down, here's Crowell. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Carr now on first down. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here as that will take us. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. But they face a second and long to start things out. Shotgun now for Carr. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, and it'll bring up third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays. Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw his Carr. Escaping the pressure right. He's airing it out for Williams. And that's caught inside the 30. On third down, that is a big-time play for the Raiders. 42 yards. Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage. A first down carry now for Corral. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Domata Peko, the one to get him down. Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play. On second down, here's Carr. Steps away to his left. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. Here's Carr to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Here's a give to Corral. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
6-18.
Now a handoff to Corral. And he stopped immediately there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So third and long. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
Sanders' kick is good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Set. Blue 90.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll let this thing go for 6, and he fires one that's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
That one goes for 24 yards.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it. And he got it. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Connects it to Roberts, right side. A good pickup there at 22.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Express!
They'll try and run for it with Crowell. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it second and goal. Carr going to throw, and that is incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. To throw, it's Carr. Flush to his right. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open, otherwise just don't do it.
And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time through the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they think.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this.
Leopard! Leopard!
They're going to look to throw. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. And they'll run it here. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll set up to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Jake Butt in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point from McManus is good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. To return, it's DeAndre Washington. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So out come the Raiders. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. The final shot here before half for Carr. He's airing it out for Williams. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Sanders now to add the extra point. Extra point up and good by Sanders. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. Now McManus on to kick this one off. On the return, it's Washington. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers or counters.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Todd Davis coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. Shifts by at the 15.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Detroit!
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Incomplete. The coverage that time excellent by Nevin Lawson.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
319!
And they'll go on the ground. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He'll drop to throw. Got him in. Finds Sanders. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply got...
And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. And he puts it through. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. On the return, it's Washington. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. They begin with a run by Crowell. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Again, it's Crowell. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. They go play action here on first down. They'll roll him out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Adam Gotsis in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now Carr throwing on second down. Caught left side, Williams. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Throwing his Carr on third down. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the... And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Will Parks. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield. It gets intercepted.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle, he's got Deshaun Hamilton. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up a throw. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Get down, get down.
Now some confusion offensively here. His car is going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run with Crowell. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Carr to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle to Garcon. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
And there's another sack for Bradley Chubb, and that's exactly why they drafted him. But don't discount his ability to play the run. This is a big, strong young man who understands offensive schemes, how they try to block, and he'll stand stout against the running game as well as continuing to get after the passer.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Denver getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. He'll look to throw. Left side here to Sanders. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A huge play there for Denver. 41 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. He'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And, boy, that one drops incomplete. But if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 16. They'll drop the throw. He'll let this thing go for Sanders. And caught by Sanders. Touchdown Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have broken the tie. And it's up and good. Now McManus on to kick this one off. On the return, it's Washington. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now a play fake. Carr. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Rolling under pressure again, and down he goes again. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Returnable for Thomas. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Jonathan Hankins in on the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But
and he's into the clear. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Deshaun Hamilton with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And he's able to put it through. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throw left side complete. That's Sims. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against him offensively. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Von Miller in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list.
734.
Now Carr, gotta have this one. He's gonna look deep down the field. And it's knocked away and incomplete. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Right back to him on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Lindsey. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Well, it was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This to make it a 3-score game late. And McManus able to put it through. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen. And you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
A little dump off for Crowell. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From midfield, here's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the gun, it's Carr. It's hauled in by Lee Smith. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of it.
Got a man that's caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Isaiah Crowell, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will get them one closer. Sanders now to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. So the Broncos coming out now. Getting down to the end here, they have a 2-score lead. Barely, but it's a 2-score lead, so that probably makes you as a coach feel a lot more comfortable right now, doesn't it, Charles?
It does, but it doesn't mean now you go out and run option or some kind of wild double reverse or anything like that. But you do know that if anything does go haywire, you're still in control of this game.
I want a double reverse, don't you?
I'm just waiting for that day where we actually see something like that in this situation.
We'll see what happens here. Ooh, the juke. And take this to...
What's that on that beat?
Addicted to ballin', I have to get my cash. The money is calling. Got bands, got bands, got bands. I'm addicted to ballin'. I'm addicted to ballin'. I have to get my ends. I pull up in my bands, flexing, counting my bands. Started getting money. I see how it feels to be rich. I live by the beach now, that's how I should live. Since I was a toddler, I knew that I would become this. I cannot move slow, that's a big no. Gotta chase this money, bankroll after big bankroll. I must get this money, I must get this money. I must get this money, get this money, get this money. I'm addicted to ballin'. I have